Welcome, everybody, to my live. I am Bella Silvakislis, and I'm a psychic medium. So, welcome to Breaking the Veil. So, we're breaking it wide open. Just waiting for some people to come on. Good evening, Kathy. So, tonight we're going to be talking about the angelic realm. We're going to be exploring the angelic realm tonight. You guys asked for it, so we're going to redo it. Not redo it, I mean, we're going to do it. So, hi, Amy. So, if you're just joining me, come on in, say hi. Where are you watching me from? So this is going to be a great night because we're going to be talking about angels. Everybody loves angels. Everybody. And we all have them. So hi, Lee. Welcome, everybody. So I've got some notes that I'm going to be using to discuss it. Oh, Amy. So you're in my neighborhood, Amy. Hi, awesome. Hi, Dana. Laura, hello. If you guys can share the live, that way we can get more people to see that I'm on. That would be amazing. I almost have a heart attack this today because my apparently my iMac must have did an update because I came in here and I couldn't get it to turn on and it wouldn't. There was no life to it, and I'm like doing everything, and then something told me try the on button. And presto changeo, just like that, it started working again. So that's amazing that my intuition kicked in and said for me to try it. So, hello, Wanda. So, welcome to the live. I'm just going to share this to a group so that way people can see that want, because some people always say the same thing. They're like, oh, I didn't know you were on, I didn't see the live thing, whatever. So I'm sharing it, so therefore everybody should know I'm on. So today we're going to be talking about the angelic realm. And like I said before, I'm Bella and I'm a psychic medium, and I love to work with angels, and I work with them at every chance I get. So just making sure that everything is in place right here. So today we're going to be diving into the beautiful world of angels. So whether you've felt their presence or are curious about their purpose or just love learning about the spiritual realm, you're at the right place. So let me know in the comments if you've ever felt an angel might have sent you a sign, like feathers or repeating numbers, or maybe just felt a comfort out of nowhere. I'd love to hear your experiences, and I'd love to hear if anybody has sent. So let me know in the comments. Now, I'll be covering who angels are and their different roles and how you might recognize their signs and even how you can connect with them. And remember, the chat is open, so drop your thoughts or questions. And if you're just coming on, then say hi. So, Wanda, you have had. So, what have you had? Have you had? What kind of signs have they sent you? Has it been repeating numbers? Have you found like a feather just out of nowhere, just dropped from the sky? Or so you've been finding dimes ever since your dad passed. That's amazing. I have had things fly off the walls. Uh Might it be a little more aggressive angel you got? I'm intrigued. What kind of things are flying off your walls? Dragonfly landing dragonfly landing on my shoulder on a walk surrounded by a swarm of dragonflies. Wow, that's pretty cool. Hi, Lori. You have a feather as well. Dimes. 11. Yeah. Colleen, what have you had, Colleen? And welcome. I myself have had a plethora of this thing, of all of them. Um, Dimes and chestnuts. That's a new one. Like you just find them in random places, or does nature bring it to you? I'd love to know what chestnuts mean to you. Laura, you find dimes, yes. It was a picture of my fiance son. It just flew off the shelf. Okay. I don't mean to laugh, Amy. That's just, I was standing outside and I just moved 2 steps to the right for no reason. And 5 seconds later, a sign fell and landed exactly where I was just standing. That is your guardian angel watching out for you. That's amazing. Yes, everywhere. Odd spots. Wow. Dimes as well. Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing that you guys all have those stuff. So you guys clearly all have connections with angels. So, and before we start, be sure to check out my upcoming events, Healing Your Past, on March the 29th at Cooper's Hawk Vineyards. Tickets are available on my website at psychicmediumbella.com. So, the what we're going to be talking about we're going to be discussing what are angels, and I'm going to give you uh hold on a second, get some more here. Lise, yes, my mom passed away in September 2023. Her thing was robins. Oh, love them. I know they're seasonal, but I've had 12 of them in my yard, literally staring in a large windows. Well, okay, there you got stalker, you got peeping robins, but that's amazing. I found feathers on my lawn from Lori. It's a direct connection to my dad. He gave me one on a walk while he was alive, and now they present themselves. Oh, that's amazing, Colleen. That's great. That's cute. So clearly, you know that's from your father. Okay, so let's start with the basics. Angels are spiritual beings of light, often viewed as messengers, protectors, and guides. Across different cultures and beliefs, angels are seen as divine helpers, existing at a much higher vibrational level. So, unlike spirits of loved ones who have passed, angels have never had a human life. They are not human. They are balls of light and love. So they've never had, and they're very high vibration. So they've never been human, unlike your guides. So have you ever felt a sudden sense of peace or comfort come over you, especially if you're going through something, especially a lot of times if you're going through a transition or you're going through some grief, all of a sudden you'll have like a calm that comes over you and you felt some peace. Some people will describe it as they had a hug they felt like it was a hug from an angel. If that's ever happened to you, share it in the chat, because I know it's happened to me, where you're so deep in your grief and so deep in your like stuff, and sometimes it's not even grief, it could be but about losing something, a loved one, it could be losing about something else, and you're just like, oh my god, and then you just all of a sudden just feel this calm that comes over you, and you get this sense of, you know what, everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Everything's going off at the same time right now. Everything's gonna be everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine, and you just know it without even thinking about it. So just say yes in the comments if you've got it. Now, in religious texts, angels are often described as messengers of God. But even if you don't follow a particular religion, you can still experience their presence and guidance. Think of them as loving companions here to support you on your soul's journey. Can you do a question for me? My mom and her sister are barely taking. No, I'm not taking questions right now, Lisa. Um, so we're going to go through the different types of angels and their roles. So we're going to get to the angelic lineup right now. And let me know which one you feel connected to. Just let me know in the comments. So, the first one up is guardian angels. Everyone has at least one guardian angel. They are personal spiritual bodyguards, offering protection, comfort, and encouragement. And then we have the archangels. Think of the archangels as the managers of the angelic realm. Each archangel has a specific purpose. For example, Archangel Michael, he's the protector. You call on him for strength and protection. Archangel Gabriel, he's the messenger. So he is great if you for creative inspiration and for clear communication. And then you have Archangel Raphael. I mean, we've all called on him at one point or another, and he's the healer. If you or a loved one needs physical or emotional healing, Raphael's your angel. Yes, you experienced the calm and secure before a major surgery. That's I felt the same thing. Before any, usually it's before anything big that you're really working on something. You'll if you get that calm that comes through you, that's your angels that are stepping in. Now, most of the time, people think that when we have some, they always think of only the archangels. The archangels are the ones who are helping. Michael and Raphael, and in fact, that they're not the only ones. They're not the ones that actually are like the worker angels. They're the ones. There is many different ones, and they usually will come and there's different kinds. Like we're going through them here. So the other one is angels of healing and comfort. So these are angels that work specifically to heal emotional wounds, offering solace in times of grief and anxiety. So we've all, and like you, Wanda, you were with the angel of healing and comfort because they gave you comfort right before your surgery. Another one is angels of nature. So often called elementals sometimes, they protect animals, plants, and the environment. Perfect to call on when you're connecting with nature. So if you're outside and if you're really a nature person, then those are usually the ones that are usually work with you a lot. The other ones is angelic guides. Similar to spirit guides, they offer wisdom and insight, especially during significant life changes. So those ones, pretty much, that's the one I usually work with the most, and so do most of us, especially if we're going through something in our lives. So, which type of angel do you think has been guiding you lately? Let me know in a comment. So, has it been the angelic guides or the angels of nature, the angels of healing and comfort? Or is it the archangels that you might be calling on, or your guardian angel? To be honest with you, I think I've been working with all of them at one point or another, and sometimes throughout the day, probably all of them. Healing and comfortly, yes. A lot. I would have to say probably the one that's the most prevalent right now is probably the healing and comfort, just because of a lot of the stuff that's going on right now, with all the changes that are going on that are out of our control and in our world, and with all the political stuff. They're probably the ones that are going to be the most. They're the angels that are going to be around us the most, especially when we're starting to look at different things that are going to affect us, and we're getting that anxiety and stuff. That will probably They're the ones who are going to step in and say everything's going to be all right with you, so they'll calm you down. Yes, guardian angel. Yes. Um, your guardian angel, Colleen. Angels of healing and comfort, and my guardian angel. Angels of healing, Bobby Lynn. Welcome, Bobby Lynn. Courtney. I call on Archangel Michael a lot cleaning the house. I hear you, girl. He's good. He's good. But sometimes the thing with archangels, people, we call on them a lot, but a lot of times, because they're actually like, think of them. This is the only way that we can really explain it, is they are the CEOs, right? These guys are like, they're archangels. They're running everything. And their angels is like their workers or supervisors. So what they'll do is you call on them, and he'll send the worker there. So if you're going to be doing if you need some healing, It's like, there you go. You need to go do some healing. And that's what they do. They delegate. They have their specific people that they delegate, the specific angels that delegate that, but that's what they'll do. They'll delegate that a lot. So, and that's what I've been told. So if you have Archangel Michael or Archangel, because all our angels are already at a higher frequency, the angels are higher frequency than us. And just think about that. The archangels are even higher than that. They're a very, very high frequency. So if they were to come in, believe me, you would feel it. It would be like an equivalent of like having an atomic bomb, I guess, because they're just that powerful. Wisdom and insight, angelic guides to get through the deception. 100%, Dana. So at one point or another, within probably even like a couple of days or even a week or even the same day, you're constantly calling on these different angels, and these different angels are coming in and helping you out. So as that, now this is the other thing, is when you're calling on them, and they don't tend to step in unless you ask. Angels often send us a little wink from the universe. And here are some of the common signs to look out for, which we've already discussed, like white feathers appearing in unexpected places. So, I mean, if if you're going to find a feather and there's birds around or they're nesting, clearly it's not going to be unheard of for you to find a feather. Now, if you're in the middle of a grocery store and all of a sudden you just find a feather that shows up, now that would be a wink from the universe. So it would be somewhere that you normally wouldn't think of seeing one. I've had people who have said that they went out to their car and they had a feather on their car seat, like on their seat of the car. That's somewhere that you wouldn't normally think to have a feather. So that is one of them. Another one is seeing repeating numbers. 111, 444 tends to be always thought of as the number for the angels. But really, if you see repeating, like within a day, depending on what you're going through, you're going to see different repeating numbers within that. So even me lately, I've been finding, I've been seeing 1212 a lot, 555, even 777. So it all depends on what your path and what you're thinking at that moment is that they need you to pay attention to. So you may be going through some negative thoughts, or you may be thinking, should I do this? Should I go here? And that might be their wink to say they're gonna make you look at something that's gonna show that number so that you can go look it up and see exactly what it means. And that's kind of like the wink to say, yes, 100%, this is what we want you to know. Also, the other thing is when you tend to look up those repeating numbers, they'll be, sometimes there's more than one explanation, right? So what you need to do is really go and read the explanations and see which one resonates with you. And the way you'll know which one resonates with you is sometimes you get a little bit of a chill. They call them psychic chills. If you get that, or if all of a sudden you're just like, you're like, oh my God, I'm reading this and this is so much me. That's the message that they want you to have. Because I've had people where like, I've read it and there's like four different things I don't know. And I'm like, no, you would have been called to one specific. So that's the one that they want the message for. Oh, you're welcome, Wanda. So have a good night. Um, So also the other one is, we've already mentioned, is finding coins, especially in meaningful locations. So and it's not, if it's places that you normally wouldn't find a coin. So that's another one. So all of a sudden you'll be thinking about something and you get a southern warmth or a tingling, a sense of comfort or peace washing over you. That's another sign from them. Messages also come through dreams or intuitive visions. So, have anybody experienced any of these? The dreams or the intuitive visions, or clearly you've resonated with? We've all gotten the coins and the feathers and stuff, but has anybody had any dreams or anything like that? Or all of a sudden you wake up and you're just like, I don't know what that means, but I had a really intense dream. Let me know in the comments. And not just mention that, but another thing is, If you've asked for a sign and you received it, let me know, because I don't ask for signs very often, but I know a few people that I've had. They'll ask for signs and all of a sudden they'll get the sign, and I'm just so curious to know what it is, that the sign that they actually got. Because I don't ask for signs very often. I guess I should. But so we're going to be talking about how you can connect with your angels more often, or how you can connect with your angels. So, if you want to strengthen your connections with your angels, here are some simple ways to invite the presence. And if you've already have a favorite way to connect with them, let me know in the chat. But the easiest way is meditation. So you just sit quietly and you focus on your breath and you invite your angels to communicate with you. Now you sit, and a lot of times, what I find the easiest way is to have a piece of paper with you, and you just start writing down what you hear. You don't censor anything, and you don't, you just write everything you hear, and that will be the message from them. Oh, Dana recently woke up out of a dead sleep at 3:45 and felt like I had to just spit at someone. Wow. That's the only part that you remember? You had the sensation to spit at somebody? I don't know what that means. Uh, it might be, maybe you're holding back. Maybe there's something that you're having an issue with someone, and you are not being they're encouraging you to spit it out. Like spit it out. Like finally say what you need to say. Um because you've been holding it back. That might be one of the ways to interpret, but I've never but that's a weird one. I've never, not to say that you're weird, but that's an odd one. I've never heard that one before. But I mean, that might literally what it means. So another way that you can ask from your angel is ask for a sign, but be clear with your request. Uh and say, angels, please show me a sign of your presence today. And then stay open. Don't say, oh my God, I just saw something, and brush it off as a coincidence, because there is no coincidences. It could even be the fact that someone called you that hasn't called you in forever. Or, all of a sudden a song comes on, or a movie comes on. Or like one of the ladies here found a chestnut. That is the sign. It's not a coincidence. So just be open to what you're going to receive. And also show gratitude. Thank your angels for their support. Gratitude strengthens your connection. And remember, angels work with free will. They're always ready to assist, but you have to ask them. If you don't ask them, they're not going to step in because of free will. So if you're planning to try any of these, let me know in the comments and tell me which one you're gonna try. The meditation, or the it's called automatic writing, but you can call it journaling as well. Let me know if you're gonna try any of those. Now, if you have any questions about anything I've talked about, just drop them in the comments. Or if you've had a really powerful angelic experience, let me know in the comments as well. The one that kind of comes to mind with, because I was trying to think of an example. um I can't think of one for myself right now because my mind's kind of mush. But there was one where I had a woman who came for a reading, And she was the powerful experience that she said she had was, she was you're going to probably try both. You want to try to ask for a sign, Courtney? Awesome. The one that comes to mind right now is she was really struggling with the loss of her. I'm not remembering if it was a it was a loss of somebody. I don't know if it was her husband or her son. I might be getting two of them, a couple of different ones confused. But the gist of it is she was really struggling. She was alone. She felt like she was alone. I kept telling her she wasn't. She felt like she was alone, whatever. And she came and she wanted to ask me because she had really contemplated taking her own life. And she had planned it, how she was going to do it. And she had all of these different things planned out. Um, and then she went to do it. And now I'm not sure. I know she called on a prayer, like she called on the angels. I think she called on Archangel Michael, and she asked to help her. And I believe she was going to take something. And she said that when she went to, she had contemplated this, and then a couple days later, she went to go and try to do this because she had, I don't know if she had something that triggered her that day, and she decided that that was going to be the day. I think the anniversary was coming up. Um, all of a sudden, she couldn't find whatever it was that she was going to use to end her life. She couldn't find it. She couldn't find it anywhere, and she knew she had been seeing it. She had been there. She had seen it there for a while, and all of a sudden, she couldn't find it at all. And she at first was she tore the house apart looking for it, and then all of a sudden, I don't know if something fell or if something or if the television, there was something that knocked her out that reminded her of the person who had passed. All of a sudden something came on. I'm trying to think if it was the radio or she had the radio on or something was on. And all of a sudden she said she heard a voice, but it wasn't the voice of her loved one. It was it was a different voice. And she said a calm came over her, and she asked for forgiveness, and she stopped. And she got scared actually originally. So then she booked an appointment with me to find out, was this her loved one who had stopped her or was it something else? And I had said that the loved one had been trying to reach her for a while, but because of the way she was so in the grief that it was very hard for them to reach her. So it's something of a higher vibration need to step in. And and it was as if it was actually her angel. I believe it was probably her guardian angel. And I said, and that was because you asked for help. Um, and when she decided, and this is the thing that really scared even more, is because when she decided, I mean, there was like a couple things that happened before then that she was just kind of like, I don't know if this is coincidence. But then when she decided, okay, you know what, this is stupid. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to stick it out, or whatever it was that she had said. To like a day later or whatever, she found the item that she was going to be using to take her own life. She found it again. So, and she booked a reading to figure out what exactly it was that stepped in. So that was, and what exactly was it? I did realize that I had given her a reading before, and this second one that she came for, her energy was completely different. She was much calmer, in a sense. And then when I was able to confirm some of the things that she was asking about, it actually even gave her of a more of a peace. And she's still around today. So it's that just goes to show you how powerful they are, but you have to ask for help. I don't know if they would have stepped in. I'm sure they would have stepped in sooner, like if something, but I mean, if she was determined to do that, there's only so much that they could have really done because that's her free will. So, Lee, I read a long time ago that you can talk to your angels in your mind at any time. Yep. Ask them for anything. My hubby travels for work. I ask my angels to protect him while he travels, and they will. Absolutely. I've been doing it since I was a child, and it's comforting. Yes. So they're just waiting for you to ask. And they're, as soon as you ask, they step in right away, and they help you. But a lot of times we tend to forget that they're there for us and they're there to help us. We tend to think that we're always alone, and they will allow us to think that we're alone as long as we want to think it. But then once we decide that we are willing to accept their help and want their help and ask for it, they step in right away and ask for it. But they have the rule of we have free will, and they stick by that. So as do our guides as well. That's the deal that was made. So I know that you guys had requested the angelic to know more about angels, so I hope that I was able to help with your curiosity about angels. Is there any certain way to ask them in your mind? You just make the connection. So that's there isn't really a certain way. They just want you to connect with them, and you can ask them. Sometimes if you're if I'm taking a shower or if I'm in bed right before I go to sleep, a lot of times I will, what I usually do, and I can only talk to you from what I'm usually do. They're only going to tell you really what you need to know and not always what you want to know. So if I want to sit down I sit down with a pen and paper, and I'll say, my angels and guides, tell me what I need to know. And then I usually just wait for a minute, and you'll start getting the thoughts will start popping in your head. And sometimes they don't make sense, but start writing them down. Another thing is they'll start sending you signs. So if you start seeing, the same bird over and over again, like a robin or a blue jay, or if you start to see the numbers, that'll be the response that you'll get from them. Or sometimes you'll meet somebody in the store, if you've asked for some help with something, and all of a sudden somebody a perfect stranger will go up to you and give you, just start a conversation and just say something. And meanwhile, that was part of the thing that you asked them for. There it is. But a lot of times we tend to brush it off as just coincidences, or like, that's not, and people tend to brush that off and say that's not, they think that it's going to come in a different way. It's not going to come like Harry Potter. It's going to send you the owl with the message in the beak. That's not how it's going to happen. So what they do is they will influence you, because if you're open, they will influence you to look at certain things. They will influence certain people to come into your realm that you need to have a message from, or you need to hear a message from, or they will influence you to watch a certain movie or listen to a certain talk show or listen to the radio so that you can get the message that you need. People just need to be open to it and believe it. And a lot of people don't. They're always asking for a message, and they're constantly giving you a message, but it's hard for them to get a message through when you're constantly looking at your phone and you're not paying attention. And even through that, they will send you a message. They will sometimes, your feed, you'll get like a random thing that comes up on your feed, that you have never had that before. I don't know how many times I've had people that will say, I don't follow you on Facebook, and all of a sudden you just came up on my feed. And I was thinking that I needed to go see a medium because I wanted to communicate with my loved one, or I wanted to know about this, or I wanted to know about that. And I've been thinking about it for a while, but I didn't know who to go to. And all of a sudden you came up on my feed. And I said, wow, what a coincidence, huh? And they just start laughing, and they'll just like, oh, it was a really coincidence. And I'm like, well, I didn't know you needed to see me. Like, that wasn't me. But the fact that someone up there decided that my specialty is something that you needed, so it sent it to you. So whatever you're doing now, Dina, just talk. That's all you need to do. So does anybody else have any more questions about that? So before you guys go, what was the biggest takeaway that you guys got from today's live? Let me know in the comments if you guys could. And while you guys are doing that, I'm also going to let you guys know that I'm going to be contacting a few. You got comfort. That's all. That's the best thing. I've got a survey really that I want to do, and I may do actually with you guys now, and have you guys listed in the comments for me, and then I'll put it in my inner circle as well, so that you guys can. So just so I know what you guys want to hear from me. I'm sorry I missed the beginning. How can we learn more about our guardian angels? I think I feel the way I think I feel that way, to be honest. I haven't seen much posts from you in a while. I think it's a sign. Maybe, I don't know. I post all the time, Bobby Lynn. So it might just be Facebook. But how can you learn more about your guardian angels? To tell Courtney, really sitting and asking them if they'll give you more information about themselves. That's how you'll learn about your angels. The more you ask them, the more they will reveal to you. And just ask them, can you show me, can you connect me with something, like, let me know, how can I connect with you more? I mean, they're always with you. They're your guardian angel. You have at least one, so you just have to ask exactly what it is. You just have to sit and talk to them, or you can drive and talk to them. They're always listening to you. So I didn't actually know that you had to ask your angels around you for help. Yeah, I thought asking for help because of free will. People, yeah, Lori. People, you're welcome. People get that. People just assume that they step in and they don't. And that's why people will come in, they're frustrated. They're like, I thought, I've been wanting this to happen and this and that. And I always say, well, did you ask your guides and angels for help? And they don't understand that we have free will here. That's the whole reason why we're here. We're here to learn, and they give us that, I guess, respect to be here and live your life the way you want it. And if you find things that are not in alignment with you, or they feel kind of off and it's not on your soul path, they will bring synchronicities to you. They will throw things at you because they know what you're supposed to be doing. But if you don't pay attention to it and don't follow it, they'll continue sending that signs, but that's all they do. They really don't make anything big happen for you, like big changes, until you ask them for that. Until you ask them to step in. They'll just continue going, hey, hello, you're not really on the right path. You might want to go this way. And you're like, it's whatever. I'm just going to continue doing this because this is what I want to do, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, okay, but it's not going to turn out the way you think. And you just continued, and they just kind of let you. They're like, all right. So it's like, you got to think of it this way. If you had a small child and you tell them that stove is hot, and the child starts to walk towards it, putting their hand out, and you're like, hey, that stove is hot, and the child continually goes, but I want to touch the stove. And it's continued like fighting. And finally, you're just like, okay, fine, touch the stove. You're going to see what happens. And the child burns himself. And you're like, told you. It's kind of the same concept. It's kind of the same thing where they're children and they're like, no, no. So you got to ask for help. And once you ask for it, you start to see things change. Boom, 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 boom. And they really do step in. Not always how we think. And that's because they have the bigger picture and we don't. But you need to learn to trust it and just go with the flow. Can you send or ask your angel, your guardian angel, to guide and support someone else? Um, you can ask, but the thing is, Colleen, that other person has their own destiny and their own free will. So you asking your guides or your angels, because your guides and your angels work for you. The other person's angels and guides work for them. And they also have free will. So just because you want someone else, you want them to be protected and you want them to do this and them to do that, they have their own destiny that's separate than yours. So a lot of times you'll say, I want to do this, I want you to do this for them, and they didn't do that. And I'm like, because it's not up to you. A lot of times we'll have people that come and they want, something with their children and this and that, and they're upset because it didn't happen. And I'm just like, but that's, I know they're your child and you're their mother, but or father, but the problem is they have free will as well. And these are the decisions that they made. And they didn't ask for help. They have their own free will and they decided on that. And they were shown different ways and different decisions, but these are the decisions that they made. And it's tough. It's tough to sit back. So think about yourself as a parent seeing someone else break in front of you, breaking down in front of you and making all the wrong decisions. Well, think about what our guides and our angels are doing up there. It's the same thing. They're watching us make the wrong decisions and do all these different things, but they can't step in because we haven't asked. Okay. I'm glad that makes sense. I know some people have a hard time with it. Sometimes they're like, but no, they should be doing this. And a lot of it sometimes is what we've learned in religion, what we're being told. And so religion sometimes plays a part in that. And I try to not talk about it from a religious point of view. I mean, I grew up Catholic, so I know my Catholic point of view and what they said, but they've left a lot of things out of it. So therefore I try to teach it from a different point of view, more um, almost like scientific point of view, and more spiritual. That's the take I try to take on it. So hopefully I come across with that, and I explain it so that people make sense, so that you can start doing it. So you can start bonding and making the correct making that bond again and asking them for help so that they actually can step in and actually help you. Because, if you're just sitting there waiting for them to step in, they're not going to do it. You have free will. Okay. So, I'm going to end. Actually, I have if you guys are still on with me, I'm going to give you guys a little survey here. If you guys wouldn't mind answering it in the comments, it would help me out a lot. Just so that I know exactly what it is that you guys want, so I can start developing these stuff. Because right now I know what I want to talk about, but sometimes it's not something that you guys want to hear. So I'm going to ask you guys some questions. You guys can just answer it in a chat, just so I can see uh, just my own little guidance here with this. So just give me a second so I can read it out. Okay. So, what topics would you love to see more from me? Spiritual communication, past life readings and healing, connecting with spirit guides and angels, intuitive development, energy healing and protection, or put in something else of your own? That's question number one. If you guys want, I can repeat them again. Or you can just put in what you guys would love to see more from me. Hard to choose. You want them all? Just getting the list here. Okay. So I've got healing and protection. Past lives is also interesting. Okay. Yes. Intuitive, hard to choose, intuitive communication. Okay. Healing and protection. Past lives. More on meditation. Okay. All right. The next one is, if you could learn anything from me, what would it be? Just let me know in the comments. I'm also going to put this in the inner circle as well. So if you're not, but if you're part of that, you can also answer it in there. But intuitive development. If you have a moment, sorry I missed it, but can you explain what they could be trying to tell us if they are sending me repeating numbers in a sequence order? I mean, um, Data, when they send you repeating numbers, what I with me, okay, say you see the number 1212. Um, Really, the easiest thing to do is you can Google 1212 meaning or 1212 angel numbers. And a lot of times you'll get like five or six different ones, or sometimes three different ones. Usually it's about three different ones. And you can look up what the message is. Um, and if it resonates with you, then that's the message they want. A lot of times, like the normal ones, 111, a lot of times it's just like, make sure you're a positive. I think 555 is, because I used to see that one a lot. Things are changing, things are going to be changing and things like that. So you're going to have to look them up, angel numbers. So if you have a book on angel numbers, a lot of times I just Google and I'll look up, I'll click on a couple different ones. A lot of times what they'll do is they'll have you go to the exact one that they want you to. So just follow your instinct and you read it out and it will make sense to you. And that's their message for you. How to develop communication skills with angels and guides and develop intuitive skills. Awesome. Okay. What type of events or experiences are you most interested in? I love to learn how to meditate and connect with and understand messages I may be receiving from myself and others. Awesome, Lee. Thanks. Okay. What type of events or experiences are you most interested in? In person group readings, live online workshops, private mentoring or coaching, monthly spiritual circles, Q&A sessions or live discussions, or something else. Small group. Okay. In person. People tend to like a lot of in person stuff. Private mentoring. Okay. I'm looking at having doing the spiritual circles. But I'm looking at doing them so that they're smaller, so they're more intimate. So these are, I'm just making sure that I'm going in the right direction. So far so good. All of the above, in person and small groups. Awesomely. Thank you. Okay. So you would you be interested in guided meditations or visualizations led by me? Yes, absolutely. Maybe tell me more, or no, not really. Those random card revelations are fun. Yes, they are. Actually, they're fun when I do them too, because I have no idea. And then all of a sudden you guys read them and you're like, yes, that's me. Okay, absolutely. Okay, perfect. Okay. So, how comfortable are you with your own intuition? Absolutely. Okay. So, how comfortable are you guys with your own intuition? Are you very comfortable? You trust your gut, someone comfortable, or not comfortable at all? It looks like you guys, some of you guys are somewhat comfortable, and others are not comfortable at all. I think based on the other answers. I think it's just I think really it just takes building the confidence, which we'll get to that. That's awesome, Lee. Okay. And how would you be interested in more content on healing your past life, understanding signs and messages from spirit, developing your own psychic abilities, strengthening your connection with loved ones on the other side, or all of the above? Or if there's a different one that you want to put in that I haven't mentioned. All of the above. Okay. How do you prefer to learn from me? Videos and live streams, written content like blogs or emails, hands on workshops and events, online courses or classes, understanding messages from spirit. Okay, all of the above. Awesome. I'm thinking based on your other option, the other answers, most of you would want the hands on workshops and events, videos and in person. So you like the live streams as well as the in person. Okay. So, what has been your most memorable experience with me so far? Live as well. Okay. Email and live. Okay. Okay. So, thank you very much for answering those. I'm also going to put them in the circle so people can respond to them as well. Hearing about my past lives, yes, I guess it would be Courtney, in person, but live too far to experience often. Okay. Yes, we can. My other option of doing it, I like to use doing these lives, but I think if I was to do a workshop itself, I probably will end up doing a Zoom one because this way I can interact with you guys a different way. It's a lot easier than this without the delay. I was like, okay, yes. Um, in person when my mother-in-law, who was reluctant, came through. Yep, that's usually what ends up happening. Okay, amazing. Thank you very much, everybody, for answering those questions. So like I said, I'm going to be posting them in the inner circle as well. So right now I'm just going to send you guys off with a little affirmation, a little prayer. So if everybody can just take a deep breath, let it out, and just close your eyes. So yes, Zoom is good. So I'm just going to say, may your guardian angels be with you every step of the way. Until next time, take care and stay connected. Okay, so thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to subscribe or follow me or whatever. So I'm going to be coming with new content every week. So this has really helped me out with creating the stuff that you want to hear. So, and I can't wait till the weather gets warmer so we can possibly do some on in person as well, and making sure that we keep the group small. You're very welcome, Lee. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.